Hello, welcome to the third installment of the Kit List Corona Shelter-in-Place videos.
2020.
Oh, yes. Happy Easter, everybody. It was last week. But we're here, Kelly and Sue Connelly. I'm Sue, and this is my beloved sister,
Kelly Connelly. Hello, guys. Good to see you all again. Thank you for joining us.
And we actually have a guest today, René Siegel, who is actually an expert on consulting, and she's the head of a marketing consulting business, among other things. But she has some really important and very, very good news to share. So we'll cut to her in a little bit, but just briefly, we want to share. We were actually doing our stealth work of Operation Easter Bunny. We actually used safe, COVID safe policies and used gloves and masks to stuff Easter eggs with wrapped candy, and we put them in the front gardens of kids in our neighborhood with the permission of the parents ahead of time. And we distributed about 380 Easter eggs. And the funny thing is, Kelly's here with me, sheltering in place while she's recovering from foot surgery. So it was hilarious to see Kelly stomping around in the dark, in the bushes.
At night. So, going to each neighborhood, each garden, and planting the eggs for each child. It was quite fun. So the next morning, actually, we got videos from a lot of the parents of the kids going through their gardens. And one child even said, "This is the best day ever." So it just thrilled us to know and to see that. Our little playful thing that we did, it really made such a difference.
Exactly. So all right. So now I'm actually going to scoot ahead here. So part of what we wanted to talk about too is that, let me just get back.
Well, what's nice, I mean, as Sue works, Sue is always thinking of other people. She's always thinking of ways to make things better, to reach out, to be community, to be friends. And again, that's why we have the Kit List, is because of that very reason. And kind of in that same idea is that what we're trying to, as we're doing this Kit List blog, that we want to just remind you too that it's time that we all kind of look out to reach out to other people. And kind of a reminder too that this is a time to connect with our professionals, our friends, our colleagues, and connect with them. So I would actually remind you all that once a day, maybe connect with outreach to one person, one colleague of yours, not only to see what they're doing, because a lot of people are actually hiring right now, but also to reach out and say hello, share what ideas that what you're doing, and also just to connect again to share information.
Or even to have an accountability partner. Just have someone that you say, hey, let's just talk, once a day, check in, see what calls we're making. But when you're doing those calls, check on your friends and your colleagues to see how they're doing. And first, and then you can also make the ask later on if you're looking for a job, or if you know someone who is, or if you need some kind of encouragement, make that ask, and then also have it be reciprocal, because this is when we have this chance, and really kind of is this gift of time, not only to really firm up our relationships more, but then also to go deeper. And I'm going to do, because in honor of, Easter being last week and Passover, just a reminder that as we're all trying to stay fit, but also to go, was working on our friendship and our fitness. There's also our faith, and we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, and with all that, this is a worldwide situation, and it's scary. It's also something that is rich with heroics and really, really good things happening. So I kind of was thinking, Kelly and I, being Catholic, we were trying to do more masses and actually make Easter time and anyway. But what it is I kind of think of the word with Mother Teresa. She would tell people, if you are a Hindu, be a better Hindu. If you are a Christian, be a better Christian. If you're Jewish, be a better Jew. If you're Muslim, be a better Muslim. This is our time, whatever your spirituality, to go deep and pull on that strength and know that we're connected in a much bigger way. And this is a huge growth opportunity and in a myriad ways. So,
because again, we're all home. We're all home in our own. We have the time and we have the privacy really to do this searching within ourselves, as well as then outreaching through our computers, through our screens, to our friends, to our colleagues, to those that are out there also in their own capsules. So this is our time.
Yeah, and also
springtime.
And it's easy for fear to dominate, and I'm choosing to always look at it and from the bigger view and say, what's the positive thing here and what can we do? And then move to action.
So what was so exciting? We were talking to René yesterday and talk about the burst of energy and enthusiasm and hope was what she was saying, what she's seen in her business and what she's seen in industry-wide with what's happening. Let's take it over, René, but it was quite exciting to see what you had to say and what you're seeing. So
I'm actually going to do a quick intro. So this is our beloved René Siegel, and there we go. There's René's lovely face. So we've had the privilege of knowing René for years, and she founded a company called Connext. And Connext actually has a team of consultants, primarily doing marketing and communications, but other myriad ways as well. And then also she does place people permanently. And so she's been an expert on our panels in the past, and we were talking yesterday, and she had some really great perspectives and great things to share. So René, why don't you take it away? I'll stop sharing this so people can see your lovely face.
Okay. Hi, everyone. This is great. Thanks so much for inviting me, ladies. It's been crazy, right? Like nobody's planned. Crisis communications plan included global pandemic like this. So it was really delightful talking with you and just kind of sharing stories. And honestly, over the past, I'd say week and a half, because I talked to all kinds of people in my role, I'm trying to do what you suggest, which is stay connected to colleagues, clients, students, other professionals, other small business owners, all kinds of people who are, those myriad facets of our life, right? Family members, everyone, and just kind of check in. And while I've been checking in, I've been hearing stories, and I've also kind of looked at how our business is shaping up. And to be really honest,
things that you have to worry about.
Right, I have a few things.
So you're a mom, you're a business owner, you're an employer, and you're also hiring consultants and hiring other people. So you've got a lot on your shoulders. So go ahead, René.
So I'm still on the mailing list for this kind of world-renowned economics firm run by these two men, and it's 58 pages. It was literally their April 2020 kind of recap. And so, of course, I don't read the whole thing, but I was really surprised that on really kind of the first page of content, they said, and I wrote it down here, a recovery trend will take shape in the GDP, the gross domestic product, beginning in the third quarter of this year. And I went, okay, that's June. Yeah. That's right around the corner. And these guys are notorious for being like 99.8% accurate. Obviously, they couldn't foresee the pandemic, but they know economic trends, and they look at the global picture and know how to kind of put those data points together.
They're actually talking about the pandemic now. So they're, and they did say, there might be some modifications based on when we start emerging economically. But the net of this is that we have really good news ahead, and it's sooner than we expected. So to that end, René, with people who are either looking for a job that paused, or people who are looking for a job but are very open to consulting, or people like me who are consultants who are always looking to add their next new thing, what do you recommend? What are some of the 3 top points?
Because this is actually a game changer. What you're reading, René, is actually going to change what we all do, how we respond, how can we work and do our business. It's changing things for all of us. There's really hope and there's action for all of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to layer on top of that kind of global economics perspective, the fact that we live in the Bay Area. We have technology. We live with technology. We're not in the middle of the country where things may take longer to kind of recover. So again, good news on top of good news. If you want to get really granular, we have time. We have the opportunity to use this time to, like you said, rebuild or reconnect with people in our network. You never know where that next project is going to come from. My team right now, of course, is intact. And to be honest, when the pandemic hit, I thought we might lose every one of our consulting contracts. And the reality is 80% of them are still intact. So we have a variety of consulting contracts, marketing, communications, demand gen, content writing, and 80% of them are still going, 60% of them, the clients are coming back and saying, when they finish in April, if they finish in May, we're already extending for another fiscal year, or we're extending for another 2 quarters.
That's really, really good news.
So
you're hearing directly.
Right.
And also, what about the remote possibilities? You're saying that's increasing too, people working remotely or clients being open to that more?
Right. Right. So about half of our consulting projects required the consultant to be part-time on site, where the client could work side by side with them. Of course, now everything turned to 100% remote. So again, that's huge. 80% of the projects are sticking, 100% of them are remote, and we know that things aren't going to swing all the way back when this is over. We are literally going to have an opportunity to affect change because we've used technology and demonstrated that it works. It is possible to be highly effective using Zoom technology, using video, using the tools that we use every day. So to me, that's really optimistic. That's a really great sign for communicators, marketers. I think it's going to be exciting.
And we've been hearing about some other groups that, the big event companies, and this is again, Kelly and I, when we're talking to our friends and colleagues and people on our network, they're saying that there's a big demand for people, these big event companies that have to pivot now and start learning how to do a lot of these events online, because the big events are not going to be happening in person the way they have for the immediate, probably longer term. So, René, are you seeing things that other people, like you recommend people can pivot, or some opportunities or ideas from your perspective as you talk to your clients and consultants?
Especially for those of us who are actually, we're in front of our computers, we can work better, more efficiently virtually. So what are you seeing then with these companies who are now saying, where's our talent? Where's our base now to help propel these business projects forward?
Yeah, I spoke with a client just the other day who had 43 different in-person events, from road shows to executive meet and greets to, of course, product-oriented launches. 43. They were all in person, and overnight they all had to become virtual. Crazy, right? They are scrambling, and unfortunately, the big agency that they hired that specializes in ginormous events, they only do in-person events. That big agency actually couldn't help them convert those events to digital or online events. So this is where, if any consultants have experience with different aspects of even the planning, the budgeting, being able to kind of repurpose content, right, for a keynote and turn that into multiple opportunities for different stakeholders to leverage, right? Those are things that many events people have done, maybe at a smaller company.
Right.
But the tip is to pull all of that up to the top of your resume, update your LinkedIn profile, and show the world that you're ready to help turn those on-site, in-person events into digital events.
That's what companies are looking for, those who can do those things.
That little snapshot that's at the very top right below your name, that's the sweet spot. In fact, I think you were mentioning, René, that's what people really look at first, and that's where you have a chance to grab them. So what we'll do is, do you have any other key points to people about those who might have a permanent job and looking for a permanent job but might be open to consulting during this opportunity time?
What would be the next move for them, for those?
Yeah. So absolutely. I think there are going to be opportunities. I think there will be more headcount, but right now what we're hearing is that in addition to cutting the big agencies, headcount is being frozen, right? We're hearing a lot of that. And so in lieu of that, there are clients who are battling with executives and getting budget for contractors, basically kind of filling the gap until the headcount comes back. So again, good opportunity to contract. I would also highly recommend that people don't use the same resume and the same LinkedIn to market themselves for a full-time opportunity as a contractor. For example, we highly recommend the functional style resume for people who are seasoned consultants, because what you did that the client needs may be on the second page now. It may be at the bottom of the first page. And if it's not screaming in the first 3 inches of your resume, they're not going to take the time to dig deeper.
In marketing, it's what they call above the fold. What do people see? The first
Exactly.
snapshot.
It's all about
exactly.
About sections. So get to those.
Right.
We write in that.
And also for the top of a resume, as you're saying with a resume, it's really important to have some bullets right at the very top about key highlights. And those are the things you can change and edit per job that you're doing, because you can pull up things that are buried deeper down in your resume and make them immediately evident, because they're going to look at your name, they're going to look at those bullets, and they're going to look at where you've worked. And and other thing that I thought was really key that you said, René, is that marketing and marketing communications is on the knife edge right now. As companies are having to really try to drive revenue, how do they do that? They need people who can reach customers in new and better ways, and that's where the marketing experts, this is our time to shine. And so you need to make sure you get on the radar screen of either the employers, but more importantly, the people that would be hiring you potentially as a consultant, which René knows as well. There are many times when a consultant gets hired on a permanent basis too. So that's not necessarily a track to being a consultant.
Exactly. We call the try before you buy. You may get in on a 1 quarter, contract, and they may realize they can't live without you and convert you to an FTE. So we see that all the time. Absolutely. I think that's huge.
Absolutely. And we do on the kit list, we have it started out with a lot of marketing people. So we have a big base of people in marketing and consulting and design. So, but this actually goes with tech workers too, people technology. So we really cover the base here with how consulting work. Yeah, well, and also I probably should say it's kitlist.org if you want to join. It's a 72,000 community of job seekers, employers, recruiters, consultants, and a lot of them are for the regular kit list is everything from CEO to admin, I say finance, marketing, I would say preponderance of marketing and marketing communications. And then we have the kit tech list for people who are engineers, programmers, people who, have those lovely propellers over their head and are a lot smarter than I am, that's for sure. So we're going to continue to try to share jobs that we hear about, but we hope that you too, at least in responding to this blog, that you respond and let us know the jobs you hear of, because we're still here to share and help each other finding good jobs. That was the whole purpose of the kit list, to keep in touch, but initially to help great people and through our friends. It's our time again. Yeah, and it just grew by word of mouth. So it's there as a resource for you. And then also the reason why we're doing these YouTube videos is that people have a chance to share ideas in the comment sections of the videos or on the blog, which I send out as well, or on the Facebook page for the kit list, so that we can actually have more exchange of information. So to that end, I also want to just say that René has kindly offered that she would be happy to do a 15-minute, or she or someone on her team would be happy to do a 15-minute consultation for people who are trying to consider whether this, going into a consulting world is, valuable for them. And then also if you're an employer who's looking to hire some consultants, talk to René as well. Again, in the spirit of sharing, I want to be able to really recommend René and Connext and her team. So this is, you can find Connext at connextme.com, but also René and this is her team, part of her team. I mean, things are always changing, but I thought that was such a cute photo. So you can do a 15-minute consultation just to see, how can you pivot? What would be the opportunities? And you can email her directly at René at connextme.com. So going back to our gang here, we're trying, as long as I've got Kelly as my captive audience living with me while she's recovering from her foot surgery, it's also more fun to have her with me as we just try to do these videos. So we're trying to do them once a week during this shelter-in-place time. And mostly we just want to encourage you to use this time and look at it as a huge opportunity, and you have an ability to help others while you're also trying to help yourself. So have no fear, and let's go out and I think we'll really look back on this time quite fondly as people spend more time with each other and really get to what's really important. So René, thank you for spending the time with us. We really appreciate that. And this is really our time. We can all take part in helping each other, helping with our jobs, with our families and friends and communities. This is our time. We're using this platform so that we can share information together. You can be part of that too. So let's go, guys. Thanks. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.